Hey guys, welcome to Hanging Out on Monday nights. I was talking to a friend of mine last week, Bud, not Buddy, Bud. I think John might know him. Anyway, possibly. I was telling him about this gig I did last Monday, and we were talking about the wedding planner and how I actually kind of enjoyed the experience, which is odd because most of the time I'm not really enjoying this experience. I had an exceptionally good wedding planner, wedding coordinator, very professional. They timelined everything, but they didn't step on anybody's artistry. They didn't tell anybody what was what. They kept everything organized. There were a lot of vendors there, and they kept all those vendors organized. They were coordinating with everybody months before the event, so everybody knew exactly what was going on. It was a really good experience. And, I think we should give credit where credit is due. I get annoyed with these wedding planners, wedding coordinators sometimes. Sometimes I get surprise wedding coordinator. I show up at a gig and there they are. It's like, well, they didn't coordinate with me, but I had a good one. And I thought I would, and in fact, John made a suggestion that I text this wedding coordinator because we had text threads going on, thanking them for being rock stars and being helpful and
Sure.
being cool about everything.
How often do we get to do that, really? I mean, it's like, you got a good one. That's like, diamond in the rough there. So, go ahead.
No, I was just curious if anybody else has worked with a rock star wedding coordinator that just helped you out. And if so, tell us about the experience. Well, okay, in-house doesn't count. Okay, we can all toot our own horns.
But,
I plan all the weddings myself.
But I can speak from an event manager's perspective and an events manager and I try to reach out to the vendors ahead of time. Even if you're ones that I haven't worked with, and still give you the load instructions, give you the expectations, ask you for your COI, or we have a special way that we need to do it. I try to do that months before and coordinate. I think just to play devil's advocate, on the flip side, sometimes the GJs are nice and really enjoy that and are respectful back. Sometimes they're, why do I have to do it your way? I've been to your venue before. I've never had to do this. So I get, there's an attitude on both sides at times. But it's always appreciative when, yes, we do a good job to make you feel welcome, but you also come into our house and respect the fact that you're in our space too, and we all are there for one simple goal, and that's to have a successful event. And when everybody can be on that plane and work together, it's absolutely amazing. And I always appreciate a thank you, and I always also try to thank the people, the vendors, whether that be just DJ, whether that be musicians. I mean, I've had bands come in and be wicked douchey, and I've told them, hey, this is your floor plan. This is all of the space that I have for you. You cannot be on our dance floor. And please schedule a visit. Please schedule a consultation. I want you to come in. I want you to see it. And they choose not to. So the day of, when you come in after not doing that consult, I encouraged you multiple times to do, don't get yourselves all worked up like I pissed in your Cheerios. No, I gave you ample opportunity to come in and make it a better experience for yourself and to set yourself up for success.
Well, without going into great detail I'm going to have to go into some detail on the situation that I had. It was an odd one. Because so a friend of mine passed away in March, and they had booked this event and gotten paid in full a year ago. Mm-hmm. I was at the funeral with my friend Art, who was also a good friend of this DJ who passed away, and he had said, yeah, my nephew booked him for his wedding, wanted me to attend, didn't want me to DJ, and he's got all this money. I'm like, gosh. I wasn't in a position to contribute to the funeral fund at the time, so you know what? Let me just take care of your nephew. Let me just do this. It's something that I can do for Rick's family. It's something I can do for your family.
Yeah.
And it's a Monday. Who cares? It's a Monday wedding.
Yeah.
So it became slowly clear that this was not a normal wedding, let alone Monday wedding. They had an oxygen booth. They had an electric violinist they flew in from Dallas. They had photo booth. They had ice sculptures. They had a video game truck show up. They had a pretzel bar. I'd never seen this many vendors at a wedding, ever.
Wow.
This was on a Monday.
Wow.
And she kept kind of coming at me like, hey, why haven't you contracted with the client? I'm like, look, let me explain the situation. I'm trying to be a family friend. And, I explained it to her. Oh, okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. I get it. I'm like, I'm reputable. Yeah. I'm going to be there. This is my friend's nephew. I'm not going to disrespect anybody here. I will be there.
Yeah.
But I can't put a lot of time into this one.
Yeah.
Because there's no money to be had. I can't attend multiple meetings and rehearsals and this stuff because I'm kind of doing this pro bono. And the more I put into this, the more I stand to lose. At this point, it's a Monday. I'm not really losing as far as I'm concerned. But I'm putting a lot of time into this.
You lose.
I put a lot of time into this, and I'm running back and forth. The next county out, and this is really becoming difficult. So she was cool with that, and she was, what kind of allocated space do you need? I told her like 6 feet. I should be able to make it happen. It's a 60-person event, but she timelined everything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a matter of I'm taking over, here's the timeline. It was a matter of, hey, this is what I put together for everything. You can work off of this. And then I made suggestions. Oh, yeah, great idea. Even on the flight. Oh, yeah, great idea. At the event, she was so nice.
Yeah.
Her and her partner hung out kind of behind me and all smiles and kind. And we noticed some things that we changed. I saw something and I said, you know what? I know we're scheduled to do this thing right now, but I want to give them a little bit of time because they've been running. She said, you know what? I'm with you on that. Let's give them a little time. So just a great, great coordinator. Not a, hey, I'm here to tell you how it is. It wasn't like that because it's like that a lot.
Well,
I don't dig that.
At 12,
I've been doing this longer than most of them are alive.
Yeah. But there's some really great ones out there who really, it's just you're all working to make it a successful event, and it's collaborative. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the two people that it's about.
I'll let you know from a DJ's perspective, who's worked with a lot of coordinators, there are a lot of little egos out there.
Yeah.
They're really, really, really tough because, they think they know more than you do. I remember I had a coordinator approach me. It was a few years back. I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm like, oh, say it ain't so. Nobody was getting married 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. You are so experienced. At any rate, we've had a lot of bad. We've all had bad experiences. So I just felt like
the rodeo comment. I get that. Oh, this isn't my first rodeo. I did
your third rodeo.
Riding a horse.
Yeah. No, but I just thought it was worth mentioning when you get a good one.
You should.
We've had a lot of
I think that would go miles. And she might have really enjoyed working with you as a vendor as well, that it could lead into a relationship where she refers you. So maybe you didn't make any money that Monday, but maybe...
Jay's shaking his head, hell no. And I'm with Jay. I bet you'll never hear from her again.
Never.
Maybe not.
Never.
If you don't say the thank you...
No, you should say the thank you. You're just going nowhere.
The thank you is free.
I gave the thank you because I sincerely was pleasantly surprised.
Be a pro. Say thank you.
With that.
Yeah, words don't cost any money. Yeah, it's for sure.
Be a pro. Say thank you.
Hey,
but I'm telling you 100%. She's already got 7 DJs who are friends. She goes drinking with them. They're dating friends of hers, whatever the case might be. And I've heard this from probably 40 coordinators. They would much rather recommend a friend over talent. Because I've said, hey, how's it going? Wow, I'm not used to the DJ. Like, a lot of our DJs will have the music stop first. I'm like, no, I'm mixing. Like, because my weddings, they're more important than anything else. So I'm killing it. And they're looking at me like, wow, we're not used to this. I'm like, do you guys have openings on your vendor referrals? Like, I'd love to get on your vendor list. Well, the owner's nephew's a DJ and his friends are DJs and they're on the list. And I'm like, and I have physically said out loud to venues that still tag me 2 years later on Instagram, they will have a wedding and they will tag my company, which is a DJ company. All you have to do is look and click on the tags and be like, oh, that must have been the DJ. No, I haven't been there in 2 years. And I flat out said to them, so you'd rather recommend a friend over talent? Because you just told me I'm better than the DJs you have here normally. Well, yeah. The reality of it is you get a coordinator, you have to get along with them. Hopefully they've given you a heads up. Hopefully they've given you the information you need to be successful at the event. This is just grabbed out of a folder for what you can see there. This is a timeline. There was more than likely a coordinator at this wedding. This is what I do for 100% of my weddings. I make my timeline. Why? Yeah. Because I have a microphone and music, and I've had more than one coordinator decide, hey, this white wine tastes delicious, or, hey, I'll be right back. I'm going up to their suite, and I'm going to decorate it before they get up there. 2 hours later, has anyone seen the coordinator? So I know they carry a huge role in the day, but I also know, having run a company and a yacht company worth millions of dollars in weddings every year, you're on a timeline. The only people that lose are the bride and groom. The DJ and the coordinator aren't affected by the timeline. The bride and groom are. So if the bride and groom lose a half an hour because their DJ or coordinator didn't heads them up to, like, stop taking photos outside, or, hey, we should move forward here, or, hey, let's move the cake to this time because there's a fireworks display, or whatever the case might be, the only people that lose are the bride and groom. A wedding is a taxi ride. The thing goes down, the ride starts, and it ends at a certain time. There is no comeback.
So many things stood out to me on Monday that I just never experienced with a coordinator. And one of those things is, she came to me and she said, I'm going to get the wedding party together. And I said, okay, yeah, we're going to be behind this curtain. I said, great. So a lot of times I'll have wedding coordinators who have a certain way they want to do it. You know, they want to line them up a certain way, bring them out a certain way, all this stuff.
That's the DJ's job, not the coordinators.
Thank you. She simply gathered everyone for me. That was actually helpful.
Do you have the... You go over the order and you go, hey, here's the order. Do you want to take a photo of this when you line them up?
No,
I love that. Coordinators are like, we'll get them together, and then I'll come out and I'll say, great, when they're together, let me know. I'll come out, introduce myself if I haven't, and then tell them, hey, Brian and Blanca, hey, Stacy and Jim, hey, so-and-so, so-and-so, and I will go through all the names to make sure I'm correct, and then we'll do the intro, and I'll ask the coordinator, do you mind closing the doors and then opening them when you hear me welcome everyone to the whatever property we're in? Yeah, no, I've had only one coordinator be like, no, you have to do it this way. And I'm like, nope.
I've had a couple who really wanted it done. Nope. No, it was so nice that they just got them together for me.
Yeah, that's a great coordinator.
Helpful.
That's a great coordinator doing their job.
There's so
Let's make this work. Let's get
so many things that were actually helpful.
Not wrangle the puppies.
Yeah.
Eric just chimed in on text, and he said, there's a wedding coordinator.
Is he being arrested?
Yes,
probably.
But asked them to fill in on time, and coordinators come up to us and say, hey, we got to fill time because we're running behind or whatever. And then it comes up to the DJ to say, hey, let's do something and fill that block.
Yeah, 100%. That's the importance. That it's always amazing to me how we get dismissed. And you have people that genuinely look at you like, it's just the DJ. The DJ, I have the microphone. I'm the one that can get a full dance floor going during dinner. You have a problem? I'm the one that can get them out here. By the way, when grandma has a stroke, I'm the one that can turn the music down and say, do we have anyone that's medically trained here? Or whatever the case might be.
Well, we're all doing
it's essential that everyone works together. And the coordinator should be running the circus, understanding she has talent under her or him, and should let them express themselves by allowing them to do it within a time frame that is best for the client.
John and Bill are probably doing very similar events.
I've got a top three if I can just pop in here.
Please
go
for it. Please do.
Right, so most importantly, for us looking at them, and they're looking at us and judging us the same way, communication prior and during the day of the event is critical. That's step one. There's three to this. So if you let me just get to the three. Are we aware of the rules and restrictions of the place? Do we know we can get in? What are the challenges? And then during the day of, they come up, introduce themselves. You see that you're going to have a rapport and it's going to be all right. You almost feel better then before you get to steps 2 and 3.
Yep.
2 and 3. Second is going to be the flexibility of them, because not everything is going to be stapled to a timeline. Things are going to drift. There's an ebb and flow to these. Are they willing to let you, like Eric had chimed in, fill time, or we have to step this up because this is coming out now? We need to, if you have that communication with them that you started as step 1, you know that you can work together. It's like the stretch is 15 minutes, but then don't rush me 10 minutes beyond the 15 saying we got to get it back on track again. You discuss how that's going to flow. So flexibility, I think, would be second. And then finally, the third is ultimately the compromise. Like, who gets their way? Does everybody win? The client should be the one that wins. And we do the steps that we have to do. Yep. They're doing the steps they have to do for the venue, and we all meet together in the middle, and everybody hopefully has.
And I think the thing with Dawn that's a little different. I think what I'm referring to is outside coordinators, not inside.
Right.
I'm not talking about I'm with the property. Here's the timeline. I'm talking about they've gone out of their way to spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for some ballerina, half out of it, who's running around with a glass of wine in her hand, explaining to me that I need to get them dancing.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that freak me out to no end.
No,
never added. Like, I might have the attitude on the show, I might have it in the room, but when I'm at an event, I'm very yes, whatever you need, whatever you need, whatever you need. And the only time it gets squirrely is when it's, and I had a photographer do this to me once, and she was notorious for requesting music, and I knew that. I'd never worked with her, and I went in the room. Hey, the photographer? I'm like, I've heard about her, but I've never worked with her. She requests music from the DJs all night. It's like a running joke. I'm like, cool. And sure as anything, third song of the night, the photographer came over and said, you know what you should play? You should play Staying Alive. I said, you know what you should do? You should take a cute picture of that couple over there. They look really nice. She never requested another song.
Oh, buddy.
That was it.
The smell of bridges burning.
Well, you know what? She wasn't recommending me before. I'd never worked with her before. Yeah. So I honestly felt of 8 billion people on the planet, I'd probably survive the rest of my life if I never saw her again.
I'd come out of these.
And here I am, 20 years later.
Positive.
Still breathing.
Let's have a nice show. Let's just say nice things about people.
Yeah.
Hey, they are all special. You know that, right? They're not all amazing.
I will say, though, Brian, one of the biggest...
Or Bill.
She put the back in country.
One of the biggest things is a DJ. There are a few key people at an event that can circumvent everything that's going on, and we are one of them. Photographer, yes and no. The photographer can bump times and beat times, but honestly, once all the key stuff from a photographer is done, they follow. Videographers, the same. Once the key stuff is done, they follow. The idea is to follow the event that's going on. I think the two biggest ones are one of the things she does, because she's coordinating the kitchen and they have a cook time. They put the beef in at 3:00 to be ready for 5:00. And
not quite,
but the photographer is now bumped time. So coming back to us, the coordinator will come to us and say, listen, photographer ran late. We're running late. Beef is done. I can't keep it in the oven for another hour because this thing's going to be leather. Can you move some stuff? So they're always coming to us as DJs as a center point, as well as the venue. I think there's a few key people at every event that can move things around. And a coordinator should, schedule a time. They've scheduled their people, but they should also be very flexible to, I'm thinking, the key people that are there that can really coordinate an event and make things happen. So yes, you know what? We're not going to do the parent dance now. We'll move it after main course because it really has to come out. And that goes back and forth with a function hall to us to, I think we're one of the key points that can really affect and change a timeline on an event.
So, buddy, you got something on this?
We love Jay. That's
Buddy, you do 100 weddings a year, man. We got to give you the floor for at least 10 minutes here, man.
we love Jay. Jay. We love Jay.
I love everybody.
Always love Jay.
And I try so hard.
Jay.
I really do try. I gotta try.
Again, Jay. Every time I hear Jay, I know he's had some wedding coordinators who have not been the best. And Bill.
We all have.
Yes.
By the way, I've got a core of about 5 or 6 that are tremendous. And I worked with one about 6 months ago, and I'm like, I'm so glad to work with you again. We have had probably 10 weddings together. They've been amazing. This is awesome. We got to do more events together. I'm looking forward to the future. And she announces at the wedding, yeah, it's my last wedding. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, I'm going to start working for this private airfield, rental place, and I'm kind of over weddings. And I'm like, once again, here we go. Everything's great. And, oh, yeah, by the way, I quit. Like, okay, thank you. Been great work. She goes, no, you're one of my favorites. And I'm like, yeah, well, what, I haven't worked with you in 2 years. Like, where was I 2 years ago if I was one of your favorites? They haven't found her body, but go ahead, buddy. I just, I don't want to interrupt.
But
it's one of the things that, again, Bill gets to work with his favorite wedding coordinator. Tracy does wedding coordination when we do it, but there's outside coordinators we've worked with plenty of times.
Yeah.
And I could tell you that, like what you did, texting the wedding coordinator, when we work well with someone, we do that a lot of times. Facility managers with wedding coordinators and so forth, so on. And you build these rapport with people, and they're very quick to refer you to their other clients. And that's one of the things, you build bridges with these people. Wedding coordinators, it's like photographers, it's like videographers, it's just like catering companies. You run the good ones, you run the bad ones. And I really feel what you did, Brian, was a great and smart thing for your business to help your business grow, because now you have a relationship with someone that could turn around and say, hey, this Brian guy, he's a good DJ. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I did a few things that they'd never seen before. But my point of this whole thing, I'm not necessarily talking about trying to serve me more. I literally thanked her because she did make life easier. Whether she ever uses me again or even reads the text, I don't care. But I felt it was worth it. John mentioned it, and I thought it's a pretty good idea. But what I want to know, buddy, what I'm curious about, what I'm trying to get out of somebody here is there anything specific that a coordinator you've worked with has done that you really appreciated and it really just stood out to you as a solid that they did for you?
I would probably say one of the best things I ran into, and it's a coordinator we actually have a relationship with now, and the reason why we have it because of the fact is she treated us with respect.
Yeah.
Treated us as a peer. And again, we treat all our partners with respect and as peers. Photographer, videographer, that's a professional thing to do. Sometimes it's given back, sometimes it's not. But we always, if there's requirements, fulfill the requirements. The more you can do with someone, the better off you are, but you reap what you sow. And having that niceness, lack for a better term, repeated back to us, and the little things, hey, you know what? I know that, you need this or that, I'm going to make sure it's there for you. And you ask for something and she does it, or he does it, that's an amazing thing. Use them to your advantage, use them to help you, but also communicate with them. And to me, the big thing I always appreciate, and again, the little things that people turn around and do, that communication goes along with me. And that's a helpful thing.
I was thinking about her timeline and how it was pretty detailed. And I made my own, and I changed some things. And I let her know what my changes were because I spoke to the client about it. But I got to thinking about her timeline and how it wasn't half bad. And she got some DJ in there who wasn't very good. let's say something happened to me and a sub came in that just didn't know what they were doing, or it was one of these cheap DJs, or, you hear the horror stories. She could have stood there and said, okay, now do this. Okay, now do that, off of the timeline, and kept things on track. So she was prepared. And that's pretty cool. It wasn't about telling me what to do. It was about just being prepared just in case, kind of thing.
You asked the question, Brian, what has somebody done to make a great wedding or help you out? And I think the times that a coordinator has done their best job with me are the weddings I've done where they've done nothing for me.
I usually would agree with you.
No, and what I mean by that is because we're so in
let
sync.
me do what I do.
No.
Yeah.
We're so in sync. They've already sent me the timeline. I have a copy of it.
Yeah.
I tell them up front, hey, I've got your timeline. It looks like we're good. Are we good still? Yeah, we're off 15. Okay, so I'll move everything up 15. No problem. Great. Hey, you know what? They're going to do a sunset photo they weren't planning on. It's not in the timeline. Do you mind moving this? Not at all. I make a note. They let me do my job. I let them do their job. Yeah. And I agree with Buddy. This is where you can now pick up a new line of referrals. But I will say this with 100% conviction and absolutely adamant to anyone watching this who's a DJ doing events. If you think working with a coordinator once is going to get you anywhere, you are so sadly mistaken. You need to follow up that Monday with either a gift card or chocolate or a coffee and a thank you and flowers. And you need to stay on their radar because, trust me, Monday morning, the photographer, the coordinator, everybody involved in that event is off to the next. And they don't remember you. So if you want to build a relationship, as Buddy stated, you had better be prepared to put in the work because you're one of X number of great DJs they may have dealt with. And you want to stand out by not only doing a great job, but staying on radar with them. So when they're asking to send a bride to somebody, your name gets into that mix. I've had wedding coordinators say, this is the best wedding I've ever done. Now, they could say it to everyone. This is by far the best. I've got video. There's two that stand out about 15 years ago, and they were off the charts. Just insane. Nothing went sideways. Everything was perfect. And the next time I worked with the coordinator was 5 years later, and I walked in, she goes, you're my favorite DJ. And I literally said, why has it been 5 years?
Yeah.
Like, I have been busy for 5 years. I just haven't worked with you in 5 years. But I'm glad I'm your favorite. And the best lie I was ever told, I met a coordinator at a networking event, and I saw her across the room, and I had just done a wedding about 6 months earlier with her. And she was great, and she loved me, and everything was perfect. Big hug at the end of the night. Let's have a drink, the whole deal. And I walked over, and she ran towards me, gave me a big hug. She goes, oh, my God, I was just talking about you yesterday. I've sent 2 brides your way. You have? Oh, my God, thank you so much. And I walked away all like, yay, I'm getting new events.
Never happened.
No, never happened.
So has anything made you happy, Bill, before we wrap the show?
So I'm going to piggyback on Jay's idea. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, more of that. That'd be great.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. It's about you have a coordinator who's flexible enough to bend with what's going on, coordinates with you, but then takes that and goes to the bride and says, listen, we're going to do this now because we're off a little bit. So I talked to the DJ and we're going to move this over to here because brides tend to have a warmer connection with a coordinator because they're the ones who suck up to them more so than us, more or less. But
really?
Yeah. But the coordinator that will go and say, I'm just going to talk to the bride, tell her that we're doing this now. We're doing this, not me. We are. And
vote by committee at that point.
The direction.
Yeah. But it's women have a thing with women. I noticed, like, even on social media, like, any woman posts a picture of herself, every woman on her friends list, stunning, amazing, oh my God, breathtaking. I have a photo of her just like drinking coffee in the morning or something.
Brian, I just got a notice on Newsbreak. I just got a notice on Newsbreak. You've been canceled and let go from the show.
Yeah, probably.
Comments.
No, Brian, I think you're right, Brian. I think
it's only for 6 days.
Wait a minute, CBS.
Brian,
Can we get off of weddings for a second? Because as an event manager, it doesn't matter to me if it's a wedding vendor or if it's a corporate client. I treat the corporate vendors the same way that I do the corporate wedding vendors.
They're all going to get beat up regardless then, right?
What's that?
They're going to get beat up regardless then.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if their name is Bill or John. Absolutely. No, but I still try to set them all up for success. I always reach out prior. I mean,
yeah.
There are.
That's cool. But venue. What is your title? It's event coordinator.
I'm a senior sales and event manager. So I sell it. That is my main focus. But then I do the event management. So I cook it. And so I book it and cook it, and then it's like not all the time, but I try. I mean, however, if I'm met with an attitude right from the get-go, and
you give it right back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like John.
It's a Boston thing.
And I scratch
Get back in your car.
to get on a list.
Get back there.
Yeah. Boston. Come to Boston and work with her.
God.
I think Brian, you're also kind of right that, like again with Tracy and with Bill's lovely wife there, we've never been brides, and having someone that can speak bride to a bride and talk them off the edge of sometimes some of the decisions they make is beneficial to us, because then we can do what we need to do. And that's not
it's a tough position. I mean, I know you all know this, all you gentlemen know this. When you step into a situation with a client, a bride, for instance, there's this rapport that needs to be made with her to earn her trust. And there's a lot that has to go into that sometimes. Sometimes it's okay, fine, they just love you right away. Other times, not what's going on at all. You got to earn your trust.
You got to earn it. Yeah.
I think it's
if you've got somebody else already over here saying everything she wants to hear, I don't stand a chance.
right.
Because I'm not a yes man. I'm giving you reality. I'm trying to give you reality, but in a nice way.
I think it's only fair I bring it very quickly. I used to be the in-house resident DJ at a hotel in San Diego, and we had a wedding with a bride, and the coordinator said, "Hey, Carrie wants to talk to both of us."
Yeah.
She's one floor below. This was on the rooftop, 7th floor. She was in the suite on the 6th floor, and we went downstairs. And I will preface this by saying this is a gay hotel. And the coordinator, Jim, was exceptionally flamboyant. And we both walked into the suite, and Jim walked in first. I was right behind him. And Carrie turned around and had her dress only to her waist.
Oh.
And nothing on. And I proceeded to go, "Whoa, so sorry." And she goes, "What are you talking about? You're gay." And I said, and I turned around and dropped my hands. I go, "No, I'm not." And she's like, "Oh, we've seen him anyway before." So, and we stood there for 5 minutes.
Gay, and then I saw that, and it changed me.
We stood there for 5 minutes having a conversation with the bride, who was more than happy to stand topless in front of me, like, "Well, blah, 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 I'm worried about this and that." And I go, "Well, why don't I move this to this, and we'll take you and your stepdad, and we'll move that after cake. Oh my God, I love you so much." And she ran over and gave us both a hug. And I'm just like, this is a horror story.
It is a
It's a Ben Stowe story.
This is where my wife throws me off the roof of the hotel. I'm never making it out of here alive. That's just what's going to happen.
So this train wreck of a show tonight was brought to you by DJ Event Planner. Please check out their website in the description of this video, as well as some of our other sponsors on this show. Thank you, DJ Event Planner, and everybody else scrolling next to me for being one of our channel sponsors. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night for something else incredibly unhinged. And, sometimes you watch the show because you get something out of it. Sometimes you watch the show because, like, what are they going to do next? Well, either way.